How's it going? Hope the sound's alright. We gotta talk about Elon Musk. This fella doesn't know what he's doing. Nobody knows what they're doing once they go into that darkness. I'm gonna show you guys some things. As far as the argument or the debate whether this is real footage or not, that's not my concern. What it is footage of something, okay? Whether it was made up somewhere in a studio, which I doubt. I think it's much more likely that that round globe you're seeing there, that's just how it looks when you go into that realm of darkness. It is the only way you can get there is by going quote unquote orbital velocity. You can't just go up to that darkness. It just doesn't work. Like a balloon, they all pop. What I'm saying is, that's not part of our world. And this is a 4-hour-long video that switches between 4 cameras, and we'll get to see views from all 4 cameras. And I went through this 4-hour video and I wrote down times. Whoops, hold on a minute. Hey Roderick and Anthony, how you guys doing? Man, Anthony, that song you sang on Facebook, you gotta do some more music, man. You got some talent. I'm telling you, you're beyond a choice. You gotta do it. So, Elon Musk. Let me show you some things here. I'm just kind of make sure I have everything set up that I'm trying to do. Because I wrote down, I don't know, probably 50 different times during this video. And right now it's at 4 minutes, just to let you know. The first one I wrote down was at 1 hour and 15 minutes. So for the first hour, I didn't really look at it. Now I'm kind of fast forwarding through it. I didn't really look too closely at it, but the first part that I saw that I wanted to show you was at 1 hour 50. You guys can write these down too if you want, because this video is on SpaceX's channel, and the times will be the same if you go to their channel. So if you wanted to show somebody these things I'm going to show you, okay, first I'm going to explain how this car supposedly gets up there. There's a Falcon Heavy rocket, and this car was bolted on to the second stage of the center core of the Falcon Heavy rocket. Doesn't really matter if you don't know what it is, makes no difference. It's a rocket. And the car is strapped to the top of it. And they launched the rocket, which was a big deal. The whole world watched it. Oh, Anthony, I'm just commenting on Anthony. Says, dude, thank you. It's been a good long while, though. I'll tell you what. You've got some talent yeah. You know what? I'll tell you this. This is kind of what I was thinking, Anthony. If you either wrote a song or played another song, just set up your phone or your camera or whatever. Set it up on a tripod or just on a table or whatever. Make a video. I'd put that on my channel because people would love to hear you sing. And I only heard you sing that one song, so tell you what, do it. He said he didn't know he was going on Facebook. I probably would have messed up a lot more if I did know. Yeah, I know that. I think that's cool that Allison did that. Very cool. So let's go to the first part of this video. I'll tell you the times that I wrote down, so you guys, if you want to write them down and go to the video, if you're interested in it, or you can just share this video with someone. But you know, that's another thing. I tried sharing. Anytime I try sharing my video on Facebook, like a live video, I get people telling me the link doesn't work. So it's like I stopped sharing it. I don't want to put a bunk link up on Facebook for people to click on and get, you know. Hey, Nat and Cindy. Good to see you guys. Roderick says Rocket Man is in outer darkness. Surely he has a cell satellite phone. Yes. Roderick, that's good. Cindy says, hey Joe, can you tell me where it calls space outer darkness? Well, I don't really think that anybody calls it that, but I guess it's in a literal sense. Jesus was going to cast out those legion, and they wanted to go into the swine so that they wouldn't go into the deep or the abyss. And Jesus uses the term outer darkness, I think, 3 times in the book of Matthew. And I think it's in the book of Matthew. But yeah, Roderick, you're right on. Genesis 1 verse 2 says a lot. Thank you. I didn't even think of that. Because it says there was darkness upon the face of the deep, and that's above the earth in my understanding. So I think that when we look up, we have just been born in a time when the world understood the dark part of the sky to be a universe of empty space, but it's just not. It is the very bottom of heaven. It's the dark part of the firmament. It's where the sun, moon, and stars are, and it has been turned into a prison for evil spirits. And if someone's studying Revelation in their Bible, they'll notice Revelation 18 verse 2 says that Babylon the Great is become a habitation for devils. And Enoch chapter 18 says that the place where those 7 wandering stars are is a prison for the host, or the stars and the host of heaven. That's what Uriel told Enoch. And he said it again in chapter 21 of the book of Enoch. So there's reasons. Jude verse 13, I think, says, raging waves of the sea foaming out their own shame, wandering stars, to whom is reserved the blackness of darkness. Yeah, blackness of darkness forever, I think, something like that. So there's a lot of places where this darkness is, you know, and it's one of these things that you kind of have to think about it different if you're going to think about it being outer darkness. I mean, that's what I think it is. And so when they're looking back, what are they seeing? I don't have it in front of me, but the Ascension of Isaiah says that they're seeing the likeness of the earth. Let me find that, just because I wanna get it right, because this does make sense. It's just a different way. I never thought that Sheol. See, I think Sheol's in the earth, or beneath the earth. But if you look on a Hebrew cosmology, that's connected with those waters above. It beneath the earth is the great deep, or whatever, and there's a surface to it, apparently above the earth, and that's where God's feet are. He's above that darkness. So there's a different way of. Sorry, I'm typing. I can't multitask. So there's a different way of looking at it. I'm just getting this Ascension of Isaiah. So in chapter 7, verse 9 is when they start. An angel comes and takes him. So this is Isaiah. So and we ascended to the firmament. Ascended means to go up. And we ascended to the firmament, I and he, and there I saw Samuel and his hosts, and there was great fighting therein, and the angels of Satan were envying one another. And this verse 10 says, and as above, so on the earth also, for the likeness of that which is in the firmament is here on the earth. The likeness of that which is in the firmament is here on the earth. Make of it what you will. I just wanted to share it. Let's see here. Oh, interesting, Roderick. Yeah. He says it's not a SpaceX topic, but interesting, allegedly coronavirus from a land of the dragon, China. You know what else? I think it's important to note that in the Bible, the bottomless pit gets opened up at the end, and locusts come out, and like, I don't know, but all I'm saying is, if you think about it, at some point in time, that's supposed to happen. You know, maybe not in our lifetime, but I believe it is. But think about it, because what we're talking about here is actually the bottomless pit. This darkness. So there you go. That was like before we got to anything. We've been watching for like, let's see, 18 minutes, or I started it that long ago. Hey Mr. Xavier, how you doing? Elon Musk quote, you can tell it's real because it looks so fake. Now we're gonna go to 1 hour 15 minutes and 36 seconds. Okay, I'll kind of have to, okay, we're pretty close there. Turning that down a little bit. So, oh, I should have put that in there. I didn't. That's okay. All right. I'm going to do something just to make this better and more fun. Let's add a little, let's see if this changes, if anybody watches it. We've got 1.1 thousand watching right now. This was a joke I did on Facebook. I recorded a video. Do you know what I mean? I just screwed that up though. I have to fix it now. And they're so small, it's hard to do. I'll probably remove those soon. Okay, but we're gonna do one other thing. We're going to turn up the brightness, because it helps us see a little bit better. I mean, not through all of it. It's a little too bright for some of it, but okay, right here I think is probably where we want to watch. Actually, we missed it. Okay, we're gonna go back to it. Sorry. 1:15:36. Okay, there. See those things in the background? I'll just let you watch. I never finished explaining about how this car supposedly gets up there. There's 3 boosters that go full bore, and it gets going very fast, and then the 2 of those boosters separate and land back on Earth, or they try to. In this launch they both did, but the center booster is supposed to land on a drone ship and it missed. But so then the center booster keeps going after those 2 separate, and it gets going faster and faster and faster, and it's also going up to, you know, that, I guess the Kármán line they'd call it, and it's starting to go horizontal over the face of the Earth, because now you can't think of this as Earth being a globe. It just doesn't actually work. And I can explain why. Because we all understand the orbit, and it's supposed to be orbiting around a globe. But the fact that the ground is not a globe is a real big monkey wrench in their whole belief system, right? So apparently this center booster keeps going, and then there's another separation. The center booster goes and is supposed to go down and land, and the second stage that's attached to this car continues on. And so it gets it going, in this case, faster than 17,500 miles an hour. Quite a bit faster, because this was going to be going to Mars, so it needed to do it differently. So if you just picture what's supposed to be happening right now, is that this image we're seeing on the screen is moving in whatever direction, doesn't really matter. It's moving in, it's actually spinning, obviously, so it's moving in all sorts of different directions as far as like on our screen. But it has a trajectory, supposedly, that's moving, I don't know, close to 20,000 miles an hour, maybe more, which is an unimaginable speed. But we can actually, if we get up into that area where the air is almost non-existent, because as you go up, that's what happens. Now, Earth is flat. You have to just picture this the way that a different way than you ever have. Okay, if this car is moving 17 or, well, I'll just say 20,000 miles an hour. Just so I'm not saying that's accurate. I'm just going to use that. Okay, so this is moving away from the Earth, let's say, at 20,000 miles an hour. I have a real problem with any of these little bubble-like looking things. Let's go to our next time. We already passed it up a long time ago. I talk a lot. 1:28:30. 1 hour, 28 minutes, and 30 seconds. Okay, we're close to that. I just want to show you this is impossible. They're not moving. They're in something that's moving. Obviously, where things float. Now, there's a lot of people that are watching that are just going to say, no, it's done in underwater or in a studio or something. No, it's not. They sent a car up on a rocket. They don't know what's happening. And what I'm trying to show you guys is we can... Did you guys see that? That was kind of weird. I'm trying to rewind it to see. You guys see that behind the car? Whoops, I went too far. Looked right about now, I think, behind the car. Weird, huh? But whatever those white things are, you know, most people that live on a globe, I'm sure, they would say that's just ice coming off the motor, or just ice, whatever. But they're gonna have an excuse for it, for sure. But let me tell you that if you're moving at 17,000 miles an hour or 20,000 miles an hour in a place that has no air, why are they going in different directions? They wouldn't be going in different directions. What's making them come off of the car all in that direction, going up like that? Okay, we got a lot of different things to look at, so I better zip my lip. And okay, 1:35 is our next one. 1 hour and 35 minutes, and I went past it. Whoa. It's really hard for me to get right there because it's 4 hours on like a little teeny line here. Okay, the closest I could get was 1:32. So I'm fast forwarding to 1:35. Okay, here we're at 1:35. I'm gonna take these off. They were just for fun. Okay. Right here. So they're moving up. One's moving backwards, or towards the back. This one's kind of boring, I guess. Next one was 145. I wish there was a better, easier way for me to fast forward. I wish I was watching the chat. Now I'm starting to read the chat. Yeah, that thing you were saying was, I think it was you, Roderick, about the scorpion and a vaccine. Just think of that. I mean, I think you're that's just so right on, because think of if you were John and somehow 2,000 years ago you were like seeing the things that we're all seeing in our world. He would not know what a vaccine it is, and it would look very bad. What are you doing with that big stinger? Like, think about that. That's crazy. Okay, so enough bubbles for now. Let's see here. Let's go to 145.30. Okay, right about here or something. No. Okay, there we go. Oh, now they're moving that direction. Towards up again. And towards the left. Okay, there's some down. This music's lame. Sorry. We'll try something else. Okay, the next one I had written down was 149. Oh, it's so hard to get there. Okay, there we go. Should be close. Oh, that was the fuel. We could see inside the second stage there for a minute. Okay, you see all those? This is not moving 17 or 20,000 miles an hour. It's just not. It's in something that's moving 20,000 miles an hour. What do we have up in the sky that moves like 20,000 miles an hour? We do have something. It goes in a circle around Polaris. The whole sky. They're in the firmament. That's where this car is. What I'm saying is, the Tower of Babel, God stopped them, and then he said they'd do whatever they imagined to do. And he didn't say he was going to stop us from doing it. He said they would do it. He said now nothing will be restrained from them which they have imagined to do. So the next one, 1 hour 52 minutes and 30 seconds, which is just right here. Okay, I think this is a good one. Or no, the next one is a good one. This one's okay, but the next one I put a little mark by it because it's very interesting. Yeah, space bugs are awful, aren't they? To wipe off the windshield. No, Anthony, that's the thing. Anybody that's saying about the balloons for like these Starlink satellites and stuff, they're not doing their homework. And let me explain why. Because something that is that high in the sky and is moving across the whole sky basically as fast, the same speed as the ISS. That's how fast those are going. And we know how fast the ISS is going because we can do the math. We can look at how it goes from horizon to horizon. We can time it, and we can triangulate. Like, I forgot, who was it that, or, yeah, I was commenting on Facebook with Wits It Gets It with Austin, and I was saying to him that we can determine the height of them very easily by two people looking at them at the same time. I'm in Minnesota. I think he's in Tennessee or something. We could look at them at the same time when they did a pass between us, and we could triangulate them. Or we can determine approximately how high they are and how fast they're going. So, the balloon thing, yes, there are balloon satellites for sure, but they're just floating up in the sky or whatever on balloons. They don't run like anything that, like this car or anything they would call space or an orbit. It's because it's moving very fast. And the thing that is kind of crazy, hey Randy Cochran, good to see you. And Nat, I don't know if I said hi to you, I think I did, but do you see these things? So just imagine this, or picture this, or whatever. I'm just going to try to share what I'm seeing. What's holding it? That's a good question, Cindy. What's holding the stars? What's holding the sun? What's holding the moon? Imagine going onto the space station and floating like we see them doing. And I know a lot of people think it's CGI. But good point, Anthony. But that's one thing, is that I think anything we're looking at up in that firmament, it's about the same height. Like, it all looks like it's about, 60 miles away or something. Yet 1,800 miles from here, the sun is almost in the same position for them. So it's because it's not remember how the ascension of Isaiah, that's interesting how it said the likeness of what is in the firmament is on the earth below. The likeness. So it's not like, I don't even think that it's a place necessarily. It's in my mind, it's almost like a TV screen, and they've imagined that it's not, and this is all strong delusion. Like I'm saying, anything they do up in space, satellites and anything like that, it's because I think there's a reason why the Lord said, now nothing will be restrained from them which they have imagined to do. So that, I think that's important. Okay, the next time, we already went past it, and I think that you guys probably saw that. It was pretty good. It was 154.20. I just want to go there. Whoops, am I going the right way? There we go. Okay, right here when it gets... Give me a minute here and we'll see. Okay, there. Yeah, it was just because there was a ton of them, I think. You see there's one... Oh, yeah, there's one moving to the left right here. Let me replay that. Just to give it a minute. See that one going to the left there? Why is that going that way? And these ones are going up. There's one going to the right there. See that one? Or two of them going to the right? There's just no physics. Because it's not real. Like, it's real enough that on the earth, it's real. But there is no gravity or or downward force. That's the Earth that has that. Like, so that's how those planets have deceived us. They have little moons orbiting them as if they have gravity. This is the trick and it's all part of the trick. Okay, the next time was 158. Oops. Okay, it's another side view. I'm going to put the color back to normal, or yeah, just so you guys can see how much darker it is. So by turning up the brightness, we can actually see quite a bit better. Okay, the next time, there's a few of them there. Next time was 2 hours and 3 minutes. Whoops, too far. Oh, almost right on. 2 hours and 3 minutes. There's a lot of times when it blacks out. When the camera does. I don't know why. Okay, this one's kind of interesting. This view. And I wrote long next to it, so I think that means to watch it longer. Yep. Where's the face shield? I think it's just a dummy. It's just a dummy. The car is supposed to be further out, apparently, Randy. But that's just the thing. Is like those, like when SpaceX Dragon launches. This is all in the Bible too. All of this. John saw a dragon flying up in the firmament, waiting to devour her child. The woman's child. What woman? The woman that was up in the firmament. He said he saw a great wonder in heaven. In heaven, not in space or not in the sky. Well, I guess that's the same thing as the sky. He saw a great wonder of a woman clothed with the sun. He was definitely talking about the firmament. Yeah, their batteries only lasted 12 hours, I guess, Anthony. That's what Elon Musk said. He said that before the launch, that they